Your brain remembers exactly where you were when you heard that news, exactly what you were wearing, the smell of the room, and it cannot tell you what you had for dinner last Tuesday. That is not a glitch.
Your hippocampus, the brain region that handles memory formation and retrieval, does not record everything equally. It runs a triage system. It assigns emotional weight to events and uses that weight to determine what gets encoded into long-term memory and what gets discarded. The mechanism is called the amygdala-hippocampus feedback loop. The amygdala evaluates emotional significance. High emotion, the hippocampus is signaled to encode strongly. Low emotion, the hippocampus encodes weakly or not at all. Tuesday's dinner had no emotional tag. It never made the cut.
Here is the strange implication. You have lived thousands of days. The vast majority of them are simply gone. Not suppressed, not forgotten, they were never formed into accessible memories to begin with. The brain decided they did not meet the threshold. But the system has a name for what it keeps with extraordinary precision: flashbulb memories. Events with high emotional charge, your own significant moments, major news events, personal losses, as these are encoded with such clarity that decades later. The neurotransmitter responsible is norepinephrine. During high emotion events, floods the hippocampus, literally strengthening the synaptic connections being formed at that moment. The stronger the emotional response, stronger consolidation and coping into the stronger sunken. Here's the paradox. Your memory of your own life is not a recording, it is a highlights reel curated by your emotional state at the time of each event. Two people who live the same day will remember completely different things because they had different emotional responses to different moments within it.
Neuroscientists classify memory into 5 types: episodic personal events, semantic facts, and general knowledge, procedural how to things working, short matter to do future things. The amygdala emotion system primarily affects episodic memory, the story.
This has a direct implication for learning anything new. Information absorbed in a neutral, low emotion state will fade significantly faster than information attached to emotion, relevance, or surprise. This is why storytelling is more emotional tag that the hippocampus uses to encode. The deepest implication: the self you experience is continuous, the story of your life as you remember it is a curated, emotionally filtered reconstruction, not a recording, assembled as a hard drive. There is one more thing the research shows that is even stranger. Every time you recall a memory, you are not playing back a recording, you are reconstructing it. And in the act of reconstruction, the memory becomes information present at the moment of recall. What this means practically: the memory you have of a significant event from 10 years ago is not the event. It is the most recent reconstruction of the event, shaped by every time you remembered it since. It has been in living with the edited autobiography and calling it the truth. Here's the comforting implication of the same finding. Because memories are reconstructed each time you recall them, they can also be updated. This is part of the mechanism behind why certain therapeutic approaches work. You are not to the last specific remembered it. Subscribe to Mind Vault. Next, the animal that has survived 5 mass extinctions and lives in your backyard. There is an animal that survived the event that killed the dinosaurs. It survived the Permian extinction, the one that killed 96% of all marine species. It survived 3 more after that, 5 in total. And you have probably walked past one in the last week without noticing it. 5 mass extinctions. Each one wiped out the majority of life on Earth. The Ordovirian of species gone. The Devonian sent the Permian, Cretaceous, the dinosaurs. And this animal said not today. The animal is the tardigrade, also called the water bear. It is 0.5 millimeter long. You need a microscope to see it. It lives in water films on moss, lichen, and soil, places you walk past constantly. And it has been doing this since before the Cambrian. Under a microscope, it looks like something from science fiction. 8 legs with claws, a barrel-shaped body, a circular mouth with teeth, a face that some people describe as a bear and others describe as something they cannot stop staring at. The mechanism that makes it immortal or close to it is called a cryptobiosis. When conditions become lethal, the tardigrade can expel almost all water from its body, retract its legs, and enter a state called whole weights. In the ton state, tardigrades have been revived after being frozen at -272 degrees Celsius, 1 degree above absolute zero. They have survived radiation doses 600 times the lethal dose for humans.